So talking about the upcoming Australian Grand Prix, Formula 1 Grand Prix.
Exciting.
I am excited. I'm particularly excited about old mate Oscar Piastri because we're Australian and we care about how Oscar does in his debut in Australian Grand Prix. I thought maybe we could talk about the debut of some other McLaren drivers first and see how they did in their first Australian Grand Prix. Shall we start?
Yeah, go on.
Let's go. So let's start with Mark Webber, who, not from McLaren, sorry.
Jordan. Was it Jordan?
I think Minardi.
Oh, it might have been Minardi.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe my facts
What year was
right.
it? 90?
It was 2002.
I thought it was earlier than that.
Maybe I have it wrong. If I have it wrong,
I think you got it right.
Comment and we can talk about it. But he qualified 18th.
Yes.
And finished 5th.
Yes.
What a gun.
Yeah, not bad.
He did pretty well.
Mark was a good driver.
On the shadow of Sebastian.
It was just a shame he ran into Vettel in his peak. You know, although he did compete quite hard. Vettel was very competitive.
Yes, he was. He was pretty good. Although Vettel didn't really show his competitive edge towards the end of his career in Aston Martin, unfortunately, like Alonso is. But still, he was keen. You know, team orders. He
didn't listen.
Yeah, just like Max in the last Bahrain. Sorry, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
All right. So Mark is the manager of Oscar Piastri, hence why we started off with him. So let's go to the next guy who wasn't in McLaren at the beginning, but it wasn't his rookie season. I think it was Ricciardo. I think he debuted earlier than that, but in 2012 was his first Australian Grand Prix.
With Toro Rosso?
Yeah, STR Ferrari, I think back then, or whatever they were called.
Okay.
And old mate Ricciardo qualified 10th, and he finished the race 9th.
Oh, good drive, good start.
Yeah, good start on a Toro Rosso. So now we're getting closer to the real time of, say, McLaren. Let's talk about McLaren first, actually, before we talk about the recent years. McLaren, Lewis Hamilton's first Grand Prix debut in Australian GP. He did pretty well. He qualified fourth. Finished third in 2007. And then we also had Kevin Magnussen in McLaren. In the first Australian Grand Prix as a McLaren driver, who qualified 4th and finished 2nd.
Second, he did, yes.
There's a lot of good McLaren.
Well, McLaren had a decent car, and they were very competitive back then, and that's when they won their championships as well.
That's true, yes. Yeah, Lewis was really going up as well.
Lewis was very good, very good. With a good car.
That's true, yes. It was a good car as well. And let's talk about more recent, when Lando started in McLaren, debuted in McLaren, and it was McLaren Renault.
Yep.
I forgot the year, but
2019? 18.
18, I think sounds. Oh, maybe it was 18 actually, or 2019. No, 2019.
19.
Yeah, it's 2019. He did pretty well for his debut. He qualified 8th and finished 12th. Yeah, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
In 2021, there was no race in Australia for McLaren because we had the COVID shutdowns that continued on for a while. Mm-hmm. But when we came back in 2022, it was Ricciardo and Lando. And during that race...
Pretty bad.
No, they were actually good. So Lando qualified pretty well. He qualified 4th.
I thought it was 7th.
Ricciardo qualified 7th.
Oh,
yeah. So Ricciardo qualified 7th. And they finished the race 5 and 6, Lando 5. And I think Lando was having issues towards the end of the race. And if Ricciardo wasn't a team player, he could have overtaken him, I reckon.
I think so. I remember that.
Yeah.
He was right behind him for about a lap and a half.
They told him to basically hold the horse. So overall, McLaren drivers tend to, history shows us, that for their Australian debuts, they do all right. What do you reckon Oscar is going to be able to do?
I think he will qualify. I think they'll qualify 15, 16.
Do you think they're that bad?
Yeah, they're quite bad.
Their race pace seems pretty good.
No, it doesn't.
Well, so in Saudi Arabia, for example, it was a street track and it's hard to overtake.
Well, I mean, we didn't get to see the potential of Piastri because he got first lap, he got his wing taken out.
Yeah, and then same would happen with Lando as well, by the way, actually. So Lando's wing hit his wing. I think that's what happened.
So we didn't get to see the race pace proper.
Yeah.
In the mid-pack, they just after that happened, it's game over. You're coming in the bottom five because cars have similar speeds. But we'll see. I mean, I think Piastri, he showed good qualifying sense last round, so I'd be impressed if he made it to Q3. Either of them. I'd say that's a win for either.
I think Piastri knows the track as well from Formula 3, Formula 2.
Well, they all do. I mean, Lando's raced it.
Exactly.
As well as...
And Lando's a good qualifier as well.
He's a good qualifier. But I'd still be impressed if either of them make it to Q3.
Really? Yeah. So you're going to give them a qualifying of what?
I think they're going to struggle even to get into Q2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Yeah. I'm a little bit more optimistic because Oscar's Australian. I want to say that they'll get into Q2. I think the car... It looks like the car has pace. The race pace seems good. And the way that I heard Lando speak about it, he seems to be coming to terms with it. And Oscar said that he has come to terms with the car and he just needs to put it all together now. So he seems more confident than Lando when it comes to the McLaren. So I'm going to say they'll probably qualify
11, 12.
Maybe 11, 12. If they get into Q3, they may qualify.
So you look at the top 10, right?
Let's look at the top 10.
So you'll have the 2 Red Bull.
Yeah. Alonso
will be thereabouts. So the 2 Aston Martins, the 2 Ferrari, the 2 Mercs. Right.
So that's 8.
8.
Yes.
All right. Then you've got Ocon and Gasly in the Alpines,
which have been lackluster for the...
I mean, they did all right. They did better than the...
They did because of the race.
Yeah.
Ocon, yes.
Then you got, who else is not bad with pace? Bottas, who can out of nowhere qualify 7th, 8th. You've got the Haases, who are quite quick as well. So top 8, they won't qualify. So the first 8 cars are set, I think. Then it's either they're going 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 are very close.
Yeah. Do we know what the weather's going to be like in Melbourne?
So, sunny, partly cloudy, 18 degrees.
Fantastic. So
Celsius.
So 18 degrees Celsius on the Sunday in Melbourne. So it's going to be a good day.
So there'll be a bit of wind,
but it's not going to be wet conditions where Lando excels or anything like that.
No, I mean I'm not too sure how Piastri does in the wet. His stats are generally quite good, so
I can see that.
I'm sure he can drive. He can hold his own.
So we think that Oscar's going to start at least in Q2. So he's going to make it to Q2, and he's going to be.
I don't know. I think their car's horrible. I think they got one of the worst cars in the grid.
Maybe. I like the memes about it being a tractor.
Well, it looks like
it looks like a tractor. But I think they'll learn from race to race.
Oh,
like they didn't forget what they learned last year or the year before. So I'm sure they will.
I mean, it'd be frustrating, Lando, and he'd be getting. If Piastri again qualifies better, does better in the race, I think he'll feel some pressure.
Yeah. I think Piastri. So
I think he even made a comment that he misses Ricciardo.
Yes, he did, but that was on Twitch, I think.
Yeah.
He said, of course he misses it. Because Ricciardo's probably a decent dude.
Well, it's a decent
fun guy around. Whereas Piastri strikes me as a serious business type of guy, and that's what I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do.
It'll be interesting.
So let's quickly cover race predictions quickly. If you want to do top 10, you want to do top 10 race predictions?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Go, number 1.
Verstappen.
I agree, Verstappen. Number 2.
Perez.
I'm going to go with Alonso because the car is fast, but I think Aston Martin is off to a really good start, and that team is going to be extremely motivated to get some good results. I just want to see Alonso. I want to see Alonso fight the rest. Yeah. All right. So third,
I'm going to go with Hamilton.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because we flipped, I'm going to go with Checo. Why Hamilton?
I think he drove quite well. I think he'll qualify better. I think
Even though Russell did, although there was a bit of strategy mix up.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I think he'll qualify better. I just see him qualifying better, and I see him racing hard. Yeah. I'm going to go with Hamilton.
Wow. All right. Yeah. So number 4.
Leclerc.
Really? So not even Alonso yet. So the Ferraris aren't driving too well.
I think they would have learned from the last race. I think they'll know what the Leclerc was going to finish third in the last race.
But the Ferrari relied.
Yeah, relied.
Really? Like 3 races in? Do you think they're going to be? I just think Hamilton's going to go third. But if he didn't, I'd put Leclerc third. It's going to be thereabouts. So I think he's going to go. Leclerc. Leclerc's 4th. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Let's finish with you. 5th.
Alonso.
Yep. All right.
Russell.
6th. Okay.
Sainz 7.
Okay.
Stroll.
Oh wow! So that big of a gap between Alonso and Stroll. 8.
Yeah, I think he's half a second quicker a lap.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is not quick enough for the. So Stroll's not quick enough for the rest of the cars. I just think he's not.
Really?
I just don't think he's a good enough driver to make up that time.
I mean, it could be his risk as well.
Well,
you should give him the benefit of the doubt.
I think he'll take out Sainz in the first corner.
But you put Sainz ahead of him.
I did, in case they come through clean.
All right.
So they'll take each other out.
Okay.
So one lap in, first lap.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now, 9, Bottas. I really like that guy.
Shocking
They did.
last race.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go Bottas.
Right.
The Ferraris are quick.
They are.
The engines are quick, and they're more reliable in the.
What? Yes.
In the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, and not reliable in the.
No.
Yeah, all right.
And I think they'll change their setup,
Okay.
and I think Bottas will be up there.
All right.
Ocon 10.
10. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's see how it pans out. So, what did I say? I said Max, Alonso, Checo. So, I want to say Leclerc for 4 because they do have reliability issues, but I can't say Leclerc. Okay. I can't say Leclerc. I want to say Leclerc, but I can't. I'll put Hamilton as 4. So I agree that Hamilton will be pretty good in the race and he'll probably be good in the qualifying as well.
He's got a good record.
Yeah, he's got a very good record. So I think Hamilton will be 4th. If things go well, Leclerc 5th. For number 6, I will go Stroll.
Okay.
Because of the car. 7, I'll go Sainz. Unless he crashes into someone or someone crashes into him. 8, I'm just going to say Oscar Piastri.
No, George Russell.
Oh, yes, I forgot Russell.
Russell's a good driver.
Yes,
you didn't even put him in the top 8.
I should actually, yes, you're right. I should actually swap Sainz and him around, but I'm going to give Sainz anyway because the car is faster. Once they turn that car up, it's going to be faster than the Merc.
I think so.
Yeah. So Russell, I'll give. You're right. I forgot about Russell. Was it 8?
8.
Oscar Piastri 9. And 10, I'll give to Gasly. Gasly, yes.
Okay.
Well, let's see how wrong we are on Sunday next week.
Well, Verstappen's a shoo-in.
Well, unless he's had reliability issues as well. So
he did.
But
But
he still
they
seems to
figured out what was wrong with
okay,
it, except for the race.
No worries then.
I think they're going to be fine.
That's no crashes, by the way. So if there are crashes, then
If
Oscar
there are,
Piastri won.
if there are crashes, I mean, you just take out, you take out
Signs.
Lance, Gasly, Joe Granu, what's the other AlphaTauri driver? Sonoda.
Why?
Because Sonoda's not.
All right.
So if there are crashes, you know which ones are going to crash.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. All right, so that's our Australian Grand Prix predictions and talking about McLaren and Oscar Piastri. Let's see how they do.
Yeah.
Good luck, Oscar.
Good luck to him.
Yes. I'm rooting for you.
I am too, but it's just a shame, isn't it? Shit car, he would have been better off at Renault. He would have got a better car.
Like we talked about last week, it doesn't really matter what he was in. Because as long as he's next to a good driver like Lando, it doesn't matter what he's driving, in my opinion. Anyway, thank you, and we'll see how we do it.